Alright, so we're back! I don't remember what we were doing. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, well, anyway. So, you remember how I said that I wasn't recording very much recently because I was, largely feeling quite bad for myself. Mostly depression. Well, you see, part of the reason for that was because I had actually lost a job. And then I had other job problems, and Myrta was the only one supporting us financially, and I felt really terrible for that. Well, now I got a new job, and I feel really happy again, so yay, more shit. And I'm going to actually very quickly just edit my microphone settings because I realized in the last video it was very quiet. Alright, so I've edited settings. Now audio will duck a little bit better and my microphone levels should be balanced better. So there shouldn't be any moments now where I'm talking and then the game overpowers my voice. So it should be the opposite. But I am trying to keep quiet during conversations for the most part in this game. So hopefully I'm not too annoying. So we're back here in Whitechapel, and if I remember right, we wanted a few things. First of all, one of the things that I wanted to do was to find that person, the guy that was that landlord, right? What was his name? You know what, we walked right past this person before.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
A healer, so I'm looking for Dorothy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Yeah, it does seem a little odd.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Okay.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt.
That's the guy.
Remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Yeah, Cadogan, we met him. She's healthy. Can't mesmerize her. What's she got?
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Okay, so Swanborough cordial, so it's just a recyclable item, it's useless. First tartrate. So she does sell some useful stuff. So we could buy lots of opium. Wait, I wanna go back in there again.
I'd like to see what...
I'd like to see what too. I can sell things, so if I wanted to, I could be like, I don't use this, or this very often, and just sell stuff. So if there's any items that I don't require, or gear that I don't consider useful upgrading, I could sell it. I could sell treatments for as little as 10 shillings! And I could sell rings for 16 shillings each. Okay.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is...
I like how she's just sat over there, just peddling her wares to, like, nobody. You know, I actually do need some... No, I'm sorry. Don't squeal too loudly. Makes me feel really guilty. I like dynamic shadows. I still remember the days of gaming of where stencil shadows were like the in thing. Doom 3 was really impressing everybody. Oh, those were the days. We're gonna have a quick look around, see if there's anybody to talk to, any hints we can find, because as far as I'm concerned, those are really important. Or as far as I am aware, not as far as I'm concerned. My diction is not very good. Let's see. Grease and screws. That's Cadogan, isn't it?
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Unless they don't pay.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Okay, what for?
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Right. Okay, well then there's me. Actually, let's ask.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Yeah, he has a cold. We'll give him medicine.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Well, the point is that I want to treat as many people as possible.
I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
I wish I had found you later. I hope I don't fail this by telling him that he must stop.
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
Well, it didn't say that I failed anything, but still, he's a fucking idiot.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you.
Ooh.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
You should have called him Master Bates.
Take a look, don't be afraid.
Let's have a look.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
It's pretty much the middle of the night.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Sure, blame the migrants.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Now we have a hint.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Okay, so we need to speak to a guy called Joe P. Wait, haven't we spoken to that guy before? Barrett Lewis? Is this guy? Yeah, okay.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Well, it's an idea to investigate that. But first, I want to just ask
you
him.
Need help, sir?
I only need you to purchase something from my shop, sir.
Yeah, well, we don't have anything to talk to him about anymore, so we'll
Bye for now, Mr. Lewis.
bid him adieu, and we'll talk to this man over here.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Ah, well, too bad. You've got it.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Sounds like she was right.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
You know what? I like this guy.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Real question is, what should I tell him? That he's a criminal, survival's a natural law? I'm gonna be the nice guy and tell him that he could have refused, but then again, he did say he couldn't find anything else, and he would probably starve to death, but still, I'm gonna take the moral high ground.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Ah, thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
There we go. Well, what did you have to say for yourself?
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
Well, we know something now, that there's a gang called the Wet Boots, so the Wet Boot Boys or whatever. And we have a new investigation